Prime Minister Modi's two-day visit to Israel. What our sources are now telling us is that the ties between the two countries will be taken to the next level. The ties will be elevated. According to sources, a special strategic partnership could be announced and Israel could be India's top partner. This announcement is likely during the Prime Minister's visit to Israel. Aditya is joining me live from Jerusalem, who's breaking the story for us. Aditya, just about some time back, you and I were talking about the proximity of the two leaders. We were talking about those three. We were talking about defense. We were talking about diplomacy. And because of this close partnership, we could see the ties being elevated, as you have been saying, reporting from Jerusalem.
Well, that's right, Vedika. We are breaking this first on NDTV. It's a big development coming in. India and Israel have decided to elevate their partnership. Tomorrow could be the big announcement with Prime Minister Modi and Netanyahu meet for the bilateral talks. There will be several MOUs signed as well. But the big development is that the bilateral ties and diplomacy between the two countries would be elevated to a special strategic partnership. What name they will exactly give it needs to be seen. It could be a special strategic partnership or something different. But this comes after India and France also decided to elevate their partnership to a special global strategic partnership. Now, after US, France and Russia, this would be the most keenly watched partnership between India and Israel when it comes to not just defense, but also technology, AI, agriculture and water management. Remember, Modi and Netanyahu have had a very close chemistry, and now both the countries are working towards an FTA that could be possibly signed in a few months from now. There's a huge delegation from Israel that is visiting New Delhi right now. This is a delegation from the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Economy. They are trying to see how soon the FTA talks could conclude and FTA could be announced between India and Israel. But today is the big day when Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives in Jerusalem, and he is going to speak at the Israeli Parliament, the Knesset, and thereafter tomorrow meet Netanyahu for a long chat, a long bilateral conversation, delegation level talks, and that would be seeing the elevation of the diplomacy between India and Israel to a strategic special partnership that is coming 35 years of diplomacy into play and taking this relationship to another level. Israel has come to the aid of India when it comes to military conflicts with Pakistan, be it Kargil or Operation Sindoor. And certainly this is a partnership that India values very, very strongly.
Right, Aditya, thanks for joining me live from Jerusalem. That's the breaking that Aditya is bringing to you from Jerusalem on a day that Prime Minister Modi is just hours away from landing in Israel and taking this partnership forward. We will, of course, keep tracking all the developments with Aditya Raj's call in Israel. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in plane for a historic visit to the country at the personal invitation of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The visit marks another milestone in the growing bonhomie between the two leaders and the deepening India-Israel strategic partnership. Before departure, Prime Minister Modi said India and Israel share a robust, multifaceted partnership built on trust and innovation, expressing confidence that the visit will further strengthen the enduring ties. During his two-day trip, Prime Minister Modi will hold bilateral talks with Netanyahu and also will address the Israeli Parliament. All eyes will be on that speech by Prime Minister Modi when he gets to Israel and that bilateral meeting between the two leaders. Now, Israel's chief economist, Ministry of Finance, Dr. Abramson, spoke exclusively to NDTV on the Prime Minister's visit and the strong partnership between the two countries. Listen in.
Joining me exclusively here on NDTV is the chief economist of the Israeli government from the Ministry of Finance, Shmuel Abramson. Dr. Abramson, thank you very much for joining us here on NDTV. Let me begin by asking you about Prime Minister's visit. How critical and important does Israel feel when it comes to India?
Israel is very, very happy to welcome Prime Minister Modi here in Israel, in Jerusalem. We see this as the next level. We had Prime Minister Modi here in 2017, set the vision, set the friendship and the partnership, and now we are at the implementation stage.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting. We're taking everything to the next level. So very happy about it.
Let me take that forward. You know, we had Minister Piyush Goyal and Minister Jaishankar coming to Israel not very long ago, and now the Prime Minister. Could we expect the free trade agreement between India and Israel to be signed pretty soon?
We are very, very keen to sign the FTA. Israel knows it has to act fast. We've seen it with the bilateral investment treaty. Last time I was in Delhi to celebrate that signing and when we met. And we are very, very keen to do it quick. Of course, these things sometimes take time and it's natural, but as we speak, There's actually a team in India that is involved in the negotiations as we speak now. So I believe it's really shouldn't take too long.
All right, now Narendra Modi's Israel visit begins today. His Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu announced that his trip will forge a new alliance to counter what he described as radical adversaries. The Israeli leader said, and I quote him here, "In the vision I see before me, we will create an entire system, essentially a hexagon of alliances around or within the Middle East. The hexagon of alliances includes countries like India, Arab nations, African nations, Mediterranean nations like Greece and Cyprus, and other undisclosed nations in Asia. The description broadly matches the vision of IMEC, the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, which aims to bolster economic development by fostering connectivity. The alliance aims to create an axis of nations that agrees on the reality, challenges and goals against radical axes, namely the Shia axis and the Sunni axis." The Israeli leader said that the nations included in the alliance share different perceptions and added that the cooperation between them could give great results and ensure their resilience and future.